everyone, welcome to Learn the Strategy with Alfa-PTE.com. Today we are going to discuss about an important reading question, which is reading fill in the blanks. Let's look at reading fill in the blanks in detail. What are reading fill in the blanks? For this item type, you need to drag and drop words across the screen to correctly fill in the gaps in the text. So basically you will have a passage and a few words in the passage will be blank. So you have to fill in the blanks and you have to make sure that the passage makes sense. Let's discuss your task. A text appears on screen with several gaps. Drag words from the box below to fill the gaps. So just as we discussed. You'll only be assessed for your reading skills. That means you'll only get marks in the reading module. The length can be up to 80 words, so it's not going to be a very long passage. Maximum number of times it is always a very short passage, so you can quickly read it, skim through it and solve it easily. The reading fill in the blanks item requires a single correct answer for each blank. So single correct item means a single box. So basically you have a passage, below the passage you will have a box, in that box you will have a few options. Sometimes the options are multiple words like array of or favor of, but it's a part of the same singular box. So you just have to drag one box and drop it there. You will not be able to type anything in that blank. You can only choose whatever options are given in the box which is provided. This item tests your ability to use context and grammatical cues to identify words that complete a reading text. You will have around 4 to 5 questions and you will get around 15 to 18 marks approximately. I'm saying approximately because see, the number of marks are never the same. They keep changing according to the exam pattern. Sometimes they all depend on the number of questions which are there, the length of the questions, the number of blanks, and along with that they also depend on the difficulty level of each question. So that is why you cannot say anything for sure. You'll get partial credit for each correctly completed blank, okay? So there is no negative marking, you don't have to worry about that. Let's see how we attempt this question. There is a passage with some missing words. You have a list of words in the blue box that you can use to fill the gaps in the text. There are more words than gaps, so you will not use all the words provided. Left click on a word to select it. Keep the left mouse button held down and drag the word to the gap where you want to place it. You can also drag words between gaps. To remove a word from a gap, drag it back to the blue box. Let's discuss the marking criteria. The score on reading fill in the blanks is based on the following factors. Your response for reading fill in the blanks is judged on your ability to use context and grammatical cues to identify words that complete a reading text. So basically, you have to read the context and understand whether it's a positive one, negative one, past, present, future, and based on that, you select your answers. And of course, grammar, okay? Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, and the sentence formation tricks. If all blanks are correctly filled, you receive the maximum score points for the question type. So you get marks per blank. If one or more blanks are filled incorrectly, partial credit scoring applies. Partial credit does not mean you get half mark for that answer. No, partial credit means if there are 4 blanks, you got 3 right and 1 wrong, you'll get 3 marks out of 4. So that is partial credit. So there is no negative marking here. Let's discuss some important tips and tricks to solve this kind of question. Fill the easy ones first. There are always some blanks which are easier than the others. So instead of getting stuck at a difficult blank, move on to the next and try to fill the ones which are easy. You know, it will give you 2 advantages. First of all, you will get some marks. You know, you're confident, you're sure that that's the right answer, so you'll get a mark for that. Second one, it'll reduce your options which are there in the box, so it'll make it easy for you to fill the rest of the options. Try to pick missing grammar pieces. Look at a blank and see whether it appears in sentence and where it appears in sentence. What does the sentence need? Is it a noun? For example, if there is an adjective and then a blank, then obviously it is a noun. For example, if there is a noun and before a noun there is a blank, then it's an adjective. If there is a verb and there is a blank, then it's an adverb. So these kind of important grammar rules. So brush up your grammar. The basic grammar rules are there on Alpha PTE Nati's portal. So alfa-PTE.com, just go and brush it up. Go with simple logic. If you're not confident in your grammar, you can still fill in the blanks by following simple logic. Read the sentence with the blank and ask yourself what kind of word is needed, when it comes to completing the sentence. For example, if the sentence is describing an action like a verb, then ask, what do I need? Maybe the one who did that action, or maybe the way they did it. For example, it's running. Somebody is running. Who is running? Either their name or then how they are running. Quickly, slowly. Okay? So then look at the words and pick the ones which fit this criteria. Evaluate options one by one. A simple approach is just pick options from the pool one by one and put them in a blank and see if it completes the sense. Does it make sense? Is the meaning logical? You will always be able to fill in a lot of blanks using this approach, like sounds good method. So do not keep beating around the bush. Do not keep reading and rereading. It will only confuse you. Read something every day. You guys are really lucky. You have so much material right now. You have around 400 plus reading fill in the blanks on Alpha PT's website. Try to finish all of them before you take your exam. If you finish all of them, then read something else. Make a habit. Start by practicing on the portal. You can also read a newspaper, general website. You read fiction, scientific articles. You'll be exposed to different kinds of vocabulary. You'll become familiar with different sentence structures. So your mind will pick on these in exam and you will find it easier when you fill your blanks. So keep reading something. Go through the word list. A good vocabulary is essential for any English exam, but it's especially useful in this question. So you can build your own vocabulary in alfa-pte.com. So what you can do is, every single time you find a word which is difficult, which is whose meaning you do not know, click on that word and then click on dictionary and click on that word. You will know the meaning, and you will also have the option to add in vocab list. So this way you can build your own vocab list from the real exam questions. And when you do that, before you go for your exam, all you need to do is just open your vocab list and go through it. And the best part is, it's from the real exam question, so it is the vocabulary that might come in your exam. So that's how you can build your vocab list. And obviously dictionary option is there, so you do not need to open any other page to know the meaning, so you'll know the meaning straight away. Get to know collocations, guys, the most important thing. A collocation is a group of words that frequently appear together. They're often used in the fill in the blanks questions, not just reading, but also in reading and writing. So you will have one word from collocation missing. If you are familiar with collocation list, you will find these easier, So grab it from here. Take the collocation from the website, on alfa-pt.com. Under grammar, there is a collocation list of words, common words that appear in your exam. So make sure you grasp the knowledge and you make use of it. Let's look at an example. Charles Darwin knew intuitively that tropical forests were places of dash, intricacy, and energy. He and his cohort of scientific naturalists were dashed by the beauty of neotropics, where they collected tens of thousands of dash new to science, but they couldn't have guessed at the complete contents of the rainforest, and they had no idea of its dash to humankind. So always read the passage first before selecting your answer, so you know the context, whether it's a positive one or a negative one or informative one. So this is about information. Let's look at the options. odd, perplexed, value, resource, species, tremendous, people, and intricacy. So without even looking at the options, initially I had two answers ready. First one was species. They said they collected tens and thousands of dash new to science. So obviously, if they are going in a forest, tropical forest, then what else will they collect? They will collect species. So that's the thing. Always answer. So let's start with the places were of dash intricacy and energy. So noun, you need something like an adjective. So tremendous. So that's the thing. Now, he and his cohort of scientific naturalists were dashed by the beauty. If you look at something really beautiful, you always feel good about it. So, what is that word that goes with beauty? With were, you only have two options. Either it is or it is perplexed. Perplexed means, when you're confused, when you're puzzled. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's odd. Odd means you feel good. Wow, oh, like that kind of thing. So odd. Where they collected tens and thousands of, we already got it. Species. New to science. But they couldn't have guessed at the complete contents of the rainforest, and they had no idea of its dash to humankind, of its value. You know, they clearly said were places of tremendous, a lot of intricacy and energy. So it's value. So that's how you select your answers. Always remember, guys, time management is essential throughout the reading module. Practice your reading fill in the blanks with time tracker on alfa-PTE.com regularly and get your score. Thank you so much for watching our video. Follow our Facebook page for regular updates and join our Telegram group for a free assessment. Bye.